Hey guys, welcome to Kiwi Classics Customs. Look at this beautiful piece of American automotive sculpture. 61 Chrysler Imperial 413 V8, push button auto, air conditioning, power steering, and come check this out. Yeah, I believe there's a little lever here somewhere. Swivel seats. How cool is that? Square steering wheel. Man, this thing has, they took this electric seat, they ticked all the boxes on this thing when this was brand new. It is absolutely beautiful. And I get to work on it. And someone's going to pay me to work on it. How good is that? This would be one of a car I would love to own, but it ain't for sale. It's just awesome. The bling, the chrome, the kind of floating tail light setup they got here. The faux kind of Continental kit in the back. I mean, seriously, what is not to love about this car? Yeah, it's pretty wild. Let's have a look what's hiding under the engine bay. Oh. The customer's left a note here because these cars don't have park. So he left a little note for me saying the car will move forward in neutral. I got to roll, it doesn't have a park. But behind that note is a record player. So this thing actually, oh, it's got a hood release. Let me grab that. Fourtronic eye, that works apparently. Here we go. 413 big block. Looking fairly original. We're missing some AC componentry, but that may be something that we address at some point. But most of it's there. Obviously the compressor's not. But the gentleman has a complete hardtop, two-door hardtop parts car that's complete front to back. And he bought that, he jumped on that when he saw it, and he's just got that tucked away strictly as a parts car for the convertible, if ever anything untoward was to happen to this. But look at the sheet metal, the way these fenders and across the front, this is like one big one-piece front clip. It'll be joined and leaded through here somewhere. They couldn't stamp a piece that big. But yeah, just no expense spared on how they built these things. All the grille here is cast. It's not pressed stainless steel. It's just glorious. Glorious car. Alright guys, well, that's me raving enough probably. As you can tell, I quite like it. I'm going to pull it inside, get it on the rack and see if it's as beautiful underneath as it is on top. We got some steering work to do on it. They had the steering box rebuilt and it's actually worse now than it was. To the point where he got this one towed in because he's scared to drive it. There's so much slack from side to side. So I got a sneaking suspicion I know what it is. Because I've worked on a couple of these over the years and I think I know what the issue is, but we will find out. More to come. I'll be back in a minute and we'll get her up on the rack. Okay, let's take a quick look underneath there, see what we got, see what we're dealing with. Okay. Right, well, as you can see, try and get the shadows, not too bad. Yeah, it is very, very original. And just, I'm not seeing really any signs of rust. It's had a nice undercoat treatment on it. It's got the little pea shooter pipes on it. Yeah, which is kind of what you come to expect on these old girls. This is really excellent shape. Excellent shape. It's had a little, like a little push a pump installed at some point, electric pump, as well as having a mechanical pump. Now, something I thought was kind of interesting is these. This is like a leaf spring, but it's acting as like an anti-hop bar, I guess. It appears to be made out of a spring steel material, just like a miniature leaf spring. But it's attaching the rear axle forward up to the chassis. So that's an anti-hop or anti-wind-up, I guess you should call it. But that's not something I've seen before. Might be a Mopar thing on, some of these big body Mopars. We got a little bit of oil and grease around, but, that's not unusual. This has had some ongoing maintenance work done. There's a fairly new looking centered mount in there on the drive shaft. Check out the size of the chassis rails, guys. Actually threw a tape on there. They're 7.5 inches wide, fully boxed, plus the X-frame, which is made, that's like 5/16 of an inch thick metal, steel, Detroit steel. And you can see all the stitch welding along here. This thing is solid. I hate to think what it weighs. It must be pushing, I'm sure it's on Google and I haven't looked, but I'll bet you it's up around 6,000 pounds. I'll bet you. It's super solid under here. It's a little oily, but it's super solid. And look at all the inner rockers. Remember, the convertibles are very prone to rust. And this thing really, the floor pans are all exactly as they were when it came out of the factory. You really can't. I'm not seeing anything to fault it on. Really not. Had new brake hoses. Well, look at it up there. It's got the big 850. What is it? 820/15 4-ply radial. 4-ply cross plies, not radials. Yeah. How old they are? 0820. So they're only 5 years old. That's pretty good. Got a little bit of a wet patch here on the radiator. Got a little bit of a fluid leak. It's been going on for a while, I'd say. So we might have to see what the customer wants to do about that. It's probably a job for US radiator. Last thing you'd want to do on this car is put an aluminum radiator in. That would be hideous. But yeah, this is super nice time capsule. Yeah, that blows my mind, the width of that chassis rail. Let me try and kind of give you an idea. That's a stretch, man. I got big hands. That chassis rail is wide. I put it up on the rack and the doors still open and close just fine. And look at the overhang from a step out under this thing. You can see where the rack arms are. And that's a long way back there. So there's a lot hanging over off, those arms are at their full reach on this lift. Yeah, it's a big, heavy car. All right, guys, I'm going to drop it back down. We just really put it up in the air to have a little squiz, and it's time to jump into that steering and see if we figure out what's going on there. All right, back in a second. Okay, it's time to dig into the steering issue that we've got. So let's have a little bit of a look. Yeah, the steering wheel, you kind of see the slack that's in it. We've got from there, which is kind of straight ahead. We've got there, you can actually, I can feel it, you guys can't, but I can feel it. It just takes up the slack there and it comes back to there. So that's a lot before anything happens. Now I'm confident enough I know what it is that I've ordered the part in question already. So time will tell. If I've got it wrong, I'll show you. If I've got it right, I'll gloat a bit, sure. All right, already taken, fortunately on these big old Imperials, they have a big panel that screws into the floor to give you nice access to the steering box and the bottom of the column, that kind of fun stuff. So I've got that out, and you're really going to have to bear with me, guys, because it's very hard to, it's very cramped quarters and it's hard to film. But in saying that, down the bottom there, if I can get it really close, there's kind of a clamp there and you can almost see the nut. And it's like a big band clamp almost. And that goes around the outer column and attaches it directly onto the steering box. Now the steering box is all shiny and bright black. That has been rebuilt recently. So the issue is where the column attaches into that box. So we've got to undo that little bolt you can see just there. You can see the threads there. We unbolt that. This whole column should then slide out and just like sit on the floor. So I'm going to try and prop the camera up somewhere and you can, you know, see how that goes. And then we should be able to see this part in question. Okay. We're not going to know whether this is going to be worth putting in the video until I get to edit it later. So we shall see. Now, this is where being 5 foot tall would be, 100 pounds would be quite advantageous. As I'm sure you all know, I'm neither of those things. Least of all the 100 pounds. But, you know, it's all good, man. Oh, there's that little band clamp, that's loose. Maybe you can see that now. Now we already got the column unplugged. One bolt to get out of the column support. Yeah, I should just be able to pull the outer shaft off. There we go. And it slides away. Leaves all that hanging. Okay. People just don't like doing things properly. Okay, let me grab the camera and try and show you what's going on here. Now, let's get up close. You'll be able to see, hopefully, there's some brass shims in there. Okay, it's not meant to be brass shims in there. You've got a lot of play in this that's not meant to be there. And if we look on the other side, sorry guys, I know this is dreadful camera work, but what can I do? You see there's a bunch of shims in there, and it's actually meant to be a piece of rubber, and you can buy the rubbers, and that's the piece I've been talking about that I've already got. So I'm going to need a couple of hands to get this pin knocked out of that. There's a pin in here that holds this in. You know, that like it limits the travel, it won't come all the way out. And yeah, I'll do that, and then I can kind of show you up close and personal how it's meant to be. Okay, I've knocked the roll pin out, so it's a little teeny tiny roll pin like that. Wow, it's about 3/16 in diameter. So you just have to knock that out with a hammer and a little drift, and then this steering shaft will come out. And I'm going to see if I can get all these pieces of shims with it. What a mess. Hey. Yeah. Yeah, they've tried all sorts to make this tighter. Okay, I'm going to take it over to the bench and lay it out and I'll just show you what we got. Okay, so this pile of scrap here, some copper shims, some brass shims, all stuck in there to try and make this, what's left of this, do what this does. This is a brand new one. Now, it's a little, fairly small piece of rubber, but it's very critical. It's not cheap either. It's like $50 for that little piece of rubber. But, you know, there's not exactly a lot being made, so whoever tooled up to make that, you know, they got to make their money back. That's okay. I mean, you know, it's, if you can't bring yourself to spend $50 on a part for this Imperial, then you really don't deserve to own it, you know. So yeah, they've done that. This fits around, this is the end of the steering column shaft. That fits around that, and it even has little bosses here, you know, to fit into the groove so that it can telescope in and out slightly. And that fits into that previous shot where I showed you that kind of U-shaped section that kind of fits around it like that. And it just turns the steering. And that rubber is just isolated to take a little bit of the harshness out of the steering wheel. And I guess they couldn't find, didn't look, something for this piece, and just thought, we can just throw shims at it, like lots and lots of, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shims and a, whatever that is. Yeah. So, all that messing around because they just chose not to fix it properly. Alright, well, as I say, that goes on there. That slides into that piece. That little slot in the steering box. Yeah, I mean, the modern steering boxes now have got, you know, splines on here and rag joints and splines on the box, and it's quite a different setup. But this is a carryover from the 50s and carried on quite a long way into the 60s, actually, on the power steering model Mopars. So, yeah, I will post a link for this part. If any of you guys need it, it'll be in the description. And, yeah, they are available. And believe it or not, Summit Racing have got them. So there you go. All right, back to work. Okay, what do we got here? All right, here's the bush on the end of the shaft. I put a little bit of rubber bushing lube or rubber grease on there, just to just let things move and slide easily, you know, and that'll help it slide in here. Now I'll just get the orientation of the shaft right, just about there. It's going to go in. Yeah, it's quite tight. I try not to move the camera too much. The camera's sitting on the seat. Okay. It's fighting me a little bit. It's kind of to be expected. Let's just pop that out again. Sitting happier now. Okay. Sorry if the camera's bouncing around, guys. I'm going to have to lean on the seat, and that's where the camera's situated. So here's a little roll pin. Give him a little. Alright, that's that back in. And that's now turning the box as soon as, as much as you turn the shaft, it's turning the box that same amount. Well, there's a little bit of turn in there, but that's inside the box, not in the joint. Right, so now slide everything back together. All right, incoming. I might put that in the shaft first. There's another sleeve. Right. There's another rubber sleeve here, but we might actually put that in the outer shaft first. It's going to be the easier way to get her done. Okay, so that is all the way home again, and oh, hope you didn't get seasick with all that bouncing, guys. Might just give it a little test with the wheel. I mean, nothing's really assembled, but I feel like I can put this back on the splines and we'll see how much slack we got. That is a lot better. Yeah, they've only got a little bit of turn now from side to side, which you're always going to get some slack in the steering, on these steering box cars. So, but that's really not bad. That is a huge improvement. Alright guys, I'm going to keep finishing putting this back together, and yeah, might be time for a cruise in the Tennessee sunshine with the top down. See you in a second. How's this? I'm in love with this car, guys, I really am. Steve's geeking out on it, showing you the headlights. Yeah, the headlights are like the taillights, they float completely on their own little pedestal, and the fenders are wrapped right around behind them. It's their own self-contained unit, all four headlights. It's wild. The more you kind of time you spend with this car, the more the extras you realise. So, top down cruising in sunny Franklin, Tennessee. That's an odd noise. I picked up something in the tyre there. Alright. So, 413 big block Mopar, 350 horsepower. Did the quarter mile in like 16.2 seconds. I think I don't know all this stuff because I'm that big a geek, but I did Google it. Yeah, there's some interesting facts out there. And I didn't realise that this is not actually a Chrysler. I've been calling it a Chrysler Imperial. It's not. It's just an Imperial. Imperial was its own mark. I guess a little bit like Mercuries and Lincolns and stuff were to Ford. You know, it wasn't a Ford Mercury, it was a Mercury, you know, and it wasn't a Ford Lincoln, it was a Lincoln. And this is an Imperial. 129-inch wheelbase. The thing's huge. Man, it's like riding on a, oh, this is a bit corny, but it's like riding on a big sofa or a cloud or something, isn't it? Like,
it is unbelievable how smooth it is.
Smooth and quiet, and it's like, yeah, it's got the bar speedo on it that goes, just the bar goes across, no needle. The square steering wheel, I think, looks cool as heck, but it's when you're trying to like park it in the parking lot or, you know, do tight turns, you tend to miss your brain is so accustomed to or mine is a round steering wheel, and I keep hitting my hand, putting my hand in the wrong place. But I mean, driving straight down the road, it's awesome. You know, it's not way up here, you know, like it would be if it was round. So it's pretty cool. And like, steering is very positive now. I mean, the thing lurches, like it leans. When I turn a little bit, it's going like 10 degrees to starboard, you know, like, it's like woo. But yeah, all that play is gone in it, and the column's not going up and down now. We've got that anchored in properly. So it's just relaxing driving it. It's like, that's funny, like that little Rambler wagon, you drove that and you wanted to go fast. You wanted to kind of get after it. This is like, I just want to cruise. I don't even want to cruise quickly. Just putt-putt down the road is just nice. 30 mile an hour, it's like I'm soaking up the scenery, and this thing's awesome. But yeah, they made 429 of these convertibles. 429, so who knows how many's left, but there won't be many. But yeah, I mean, it goes, it accelerates, but it's a little, from memory serves me, it was about there, I was thinking it would be close to 6,000 pounds. It's a little bit over 5, so it's not quite as heavy as I thought it was, but it was, yeah, it's about 5,200 pounds. But yeah, but man, it feels wide on this little narrow road, I'll tell you that much. Like, trying to keep it on the right of the centre line is because like the right front is like way over there, and it's like the ditch is way over there, like, oh. So yeah, it's not a little tiny narrow country lane car, I know that. But yeah, this is super nice, super nice. And just a great day for cruising. Just a great day. But yeah, I mean, this is the top down, and it's not even really loud. You know, we're doing 45 mile an hour, and it's not noisy at all. It's just awesome.
Yeah, the wind is not bad at all.
No. But the steering, I mean, we're replacing that one little rubber bushing has made just a world of difference to this car. And that's exactly how it worked on that last one we did, that 54 Chrysler. Yeah, it doesn't look like much, that little bush, but man, it does a big job. Well, disappointingly, we're almost back at the shop. And you know what, Steve? Let's go around again.
Yeah, let's go around 3 more times. This is insane.
It's awesome. All right, guys, we're going to do another lap, but hey, we're out now. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed working on this thing. And we'll see you on the next video. Take it easy, guys.